You think the strong are the ones who speak loudly, who prove themselves, who constantly demand to be seen. No, the truly strong are often the ones who say nothing at all. While you're busy explaining yourself, reacting to every insult, trying to prove that you're right, there are people out there moving in silence. No noise, no validation, no need for attention. And one day, while you're still trapped in meaningless arguments, they've already reached a place you can't touch. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But most people live the opposite way. They let the world control how they feel. A glance, a word, a moment of disrespect, and they lose themselves completely. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Mind Awakening channel. That's why they stay weak. This video is not for everyone. It's for those willing to walk a more solitary path, where you learn to stay silent while others are loud, to think while others react, and to win without anyone even noticing. If you have the strength to keep watching, these 8 Stoic principles will change how you see yourself forever. Now, let's get started. Principle number 1. Master your inner world, or it will destroy you. No one talks about this, but most people don't lose in life because of circumstances. They lose because they cannot control what's happening inside their own mind. One moment of anger, and they ruin relationships. One moment of insecurity, and they sabotage opportunities. One moment of weakness, and they give up on something that could have changed everything. The truth is brutal. Your greatest enemy has never been outside of you. It's the voice in your head that overreacts, overthinks, and breaks you from within. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply, that if you cannot govern your thoughts, you will forever be a slave to them. So the question is, are you in control, or are you just reacting? Because the moment you fail to master your inner world, you've already lost, long before life even begins to test you. Principle number 2. Silence is power. Stop explaining yourself. There is a hidden weakness in constantly explaining yourself. It means you are still seeking approval, still hoping to be understood, still afraid of being judged. And the world can feel that. Weak men argue. Weak men defend. Weak men try to win every conversation. But strong men, they observe, and they walk away. Because they know something you don't. Not every battle deserves your voice. Sometimes, the more you speak, the more you expose your insecurity. Sometimes, silence is not avoidance, it is control. It is choosing peace over ego, clarity over chaos. And the most dangerous man in the room is the one who doesn't need to say a word to be understood. Principle number 3. You don't need revenge. Time will do it for you. You've been disrespected, ignored, maybe even betrayed. And deep down, you want them to feel what you felt. That urge? It's natural. But acting on it is where most people fall. Because revenge ties you to the very thing that hurt you. It keeps you emotionally chained, replaying the same pain over and over again. Marcus Aurelius believed that the best response to harm is not to become like the one who caused it, because the moment you seek revenge, you lower yourself to their level. Real power is different. It's when you rise so high that those who hurt you can no longer reach you. It's when your growth becomes your response. And one day, without saying a word, your life will prove everything they ever doubted wrong. Before we go further, I want to hear your thoughts. Which one do you struggle with the most? Controlling your emotions, staying silent, or letting go of revenge? Drop your answer in the comments below. Your perspective might help someone else who's going through the same battle. And if this message speaks to you, take a second to subscribe to the channel. It helps support the journey and keeps this kind of content coming. Now, let's continue. Principle number 4. Accept what you cannot control, or suffer forever. Most people are in pain not because life is hard, but because they keep fighting things they were never meant to control. They try to control how others see them. They try to control outcomes. They try to force life to go exactly as they planned. And when reality doesn't obey, they break. Here's the harsh truth. You don't control what happens to you. You only control how you respond. Marcus Aurelius lived this every day, surrounded by chaos, betrayal, and uncertainty. Yet he remained steady because he understood one thing: resistance creates suffering. The more you resist reality, the more it owns you. But when you accept things as they are, not weakly, but consciously, you take your power back. You stop wasting energy on the uncontrollable and start mastering the only thing that truly matters: yourself. Principle number 5. Discipline is freedom, not restriction. People think discipline is painful, that it limits your life, that it takes away your freedom. But look closer. Undisciplined people are slaves. Slaves to their mood, slaves to distractions, slaves to temporary pleasure. They say they'll start tomorrow. They say they'll try later. And slowly, their life slips away. Discipline, on the other hand, is quiet power. It's waking up when you don't feel like it. It's doing what needs to be done, especially when it's hard. It's choosing long-term strength over short-term comfort. Marcus Aurelius didn't rely on motivation. He relied on duty, because motivation fades. But discipline builds a life that cannot be shaken. In the end, discipline doesn't trap you. It frees you from becoming someone you would regret. Principle number 6. Think deeply. Most people never do. Here's something uncomfortable. Most people go through life without ever truly thinking. They react, they follow, they repeat what they've heard, but they never sit in silence long enough to question anything. And that's why they stay stuck. Because real growth doesn't come from noise. It comes from reflection. Marcus Aurelius spent time alone with his thoughts, writing, questioning, examining himself. He didn't run from silence. He used it. When you start thinking deeply, you begin to see patterns others miss. You understand your triggers. You recognize your weaknesses. You stop lying to yourself, and that's where real power begins. Because once you can see yourself clearly, you can finally change. Principle number 7. Stop seeking validation. It will make you weak. There's a silent addiction most people never admit: the need to be seen, approved, validated. They post for attention. They speak to impress. They shape their lives around what others might think. And slowly, they lose themselves. Because the more you depend on external validation, the less control you have over your own identity. Marcus Aurelius didn't live for applause. He reminded himself daily that fame, praise, and opinions are fleeting, fragile, and meaningless in the end. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If your confidence comes from others, it can be taken away by others. Real strength is built in silence, when no one is watching, when no one is clapping. It's knowing who you are, without needing anyone else to confirm it. Because the moment you stop needing validation, you become dangerous in a way most people will never understand. Principle number 8. Remember, you will die one day. This is the one truth people avoid the most. You are going to die, not someday in theory, but in reality. And when that day comes, everything you worried about, every opinion, every argument, every fear will mean nothing. Marcus Aurelius reflected on death constantly, not out of fear, but out of clarity. Because when you remember that your time is limited, you stop wasting it. You stop chasing meaningless distractions. You stop delaying what truly matters. You stop living as if you have forever. Most people live like they're immortal and die without ever truly living. But those who embrace mortality, they move differently. They act with urgency. They choose purpose over comfort. So ask yourself, if today were your last day, would you be proud of how you lived? Because one day, you won't have another chance to answer that question. Conclusion? So in the end, this was never about becoming emotionless. It was about becoming unshakable. The world will always be noisy. People will misunderstand you. Life will not go the way you planned. But none of that has the power to destroy you, unless you allow it to control your mind. The deeper lesson behind these Stoic principles is simple but brutal. Your life is shaped not by what happens to you, but by how you respond. When you choose silence over reaction, you protect your peace. When you think deeply instead of acting impulsively, you protect your future. When you let go of validation and control yourself, you build a strength that cannot be taken away. So start small. The next time you feel anger rising, pause. The next time you want to prove yourself, stay silent. The next time life feels unfair, accept, then act with clarity. This is how discipline is built. This is how power is developed. Quietly, slowly, unseen. And if this message resonated with you, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Your support is what keeps this journey alive. And there's so much more we're about to uncover together. Now, take a breath and begin. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end of the video. See you in the next videos.